Take me to an ocean open wide. I wanna see the waves in the endless tide. On an island, the palm trees are swinging, and the ocean is crystal blue. On the white sand and sunlight on beaches, a dream come true. Open my eyes to heavenly skies. I'm in paradise with all of these sweet dreams. We collide in perfect horizons in paradise with all of these sweet dreams.
Sweet Dreams by Hard Grax. It's 9 minutes past 10. Welcome to the Everything GM broadcast. Why is there Temuera Morrison drama? We're here to find out. Join me as I learn. That was a weird intro, hey? But it's fine. You know, I've got at least everything feels better when you time it to music, right? So like, here we go. It's Tuesday night. See? I literally said it's Tuesday night. I have stated the day and time. And it just feels better when there's like a drop, right? Like, all right, let's take it down. Here we go. And then the verse starts. Like, this is just how it works, you know? Music has very surprising effects on us. But yes, hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of day it is for you. Why is my chat, my chat is black in the stream thing for some reason. It's very, very strange. Anyway, join the Discord if you haven't done so already. If you're new, welcome. If you're not new, welcome back. And today, jeez. Today, here we go. You can join the Discord with that link. And today, we're doing two things. Well, first of all, we're finding out about why Temuera Morrison is in Star Wars news. We're going to read some takes. I literally have no idea. I was told about it by someone in the Discord literally like 5 minutes before I started streaming. And now I've made it the whole topic of the stream because I like to be fairly chilled, apparently, when we come back from a 2-week holiday abroad. And the second thing we're going to do is play some games. And I don't know about you, I'm feeling some old Star Wars. I'm in a Star Wars mood because in about 2 hours from now, I'm able to download Jedi Survivor, pre-download it before it releases. I pre-ordered it because, nothing was going to keep me away. And we're going to play the absolute shit out of it on stream. And you're not going to hear me shut up about it. And it's going to be all I do until it's finished. So, hope everyone is okay with that. If you're not, sorry. You can come back in like 2 weeks, maybe? I don't know how long it's going to take me to finish the game. But yeah, that's what I'm going to do. It's going to be hell for me to play it, for me to not play it off stream. But I guess it gives me some more time to, like, I don't know, plan for my D&D game as well. Also, Chanmogo. Right. Oh. I wasn't expecting the salt. Because I just put that in soy sauce. But also there's salty stuff in there. So, that's intense. How's everyone doing? I'm doing fine. I'm really, I have some news. Like, recently my voice has been feeling a lot better. Which is good, because I've been pretty permanently sick for ages. But, there's go away. There's still a cough, unfortunately, that's just never gone away. And slowly but surely my allergy medication has been, like, not as effective as it usually is. So I have a cough like that. Literally like that. It just happens once. It, like, scratches my trachea. And then it's like the itch is scratched and I'm done for, like, the next, like, maybe minute. And then it starts itching again. So right now I'm okay, but I can still feel it there. And then in about a minute, I'm going to need to do it again. And I can hold it for as long as I can, but it just gets worse and worse and worse. So I have to do it eventually. I've been holding on to this. I can't remember a time where I didn't have it, for sure. I think the last time that was like the first few months I was in Korea. And I have a feeling it's the air here. Plus, 2 months ago I got corona. Plus, 2 weeks ago I was traveling in the UK. And I think all of that might have brought something back up. And when I say that's something, right, I have allergies, right? I'm allergic to dust and a bunch of other stuff, but mainly dust. That's like the thing that gets me more than anything else. And unfortunately, dust is kind of everywhere. And Korea's dust particle quality is like notoriously bad. Partly because of the factories that lie in Korea themselves. They're pretty like factory heavy, but also just north of us is like, you know, one of the biggest factory producers like in the world. Everyone's buying from them. That being China. So the wind blows down a lot of their factory smoke down into Korea, which gives them their air quality, like makes their air quality a lot worse, which is, you know, unfortunate. But what can you do? Except overthrow capitalism. So what that leaves me with is an unfortunate situation where my allergies for dust are quite bad here. Not as bad as I thought they would be, but still, you know, fairly bad. And my medication seemed to be keeping it under control until I got corona. Everything got worse until I got a new job. I hang around kids. Everyone is sick right now. When I started, I've been working there for like a month and a half now. When I started, everyone was sick. They're still sick. Kids get sick all the time. It's weird. I feel like after all wearing masks, like our immune systems are just kind of getting back into the swing of things. Like that's what it feels like to me. But anyway, so I've had this cough. And I end up going, enough is enough. In Korea, you go to the doctor if there's something wrong. Like, Alfrex is here. Welcome. I haven't started Temuera Morrison drama yet, so you're just in time for that. Alfrex is here. Sorry. That wasn't my story. So I go to the doctor. In Korea, you go to the doctor when you're sick. I know that in places like America, or even in South Africa, like it's a schlep. It's a huge hassle to go to the doctor because not only would it be expensive, if you have insurance, if you don't have insurance, it might be expensive, but also it doesn't. I'll be in Discord in a second. It might be expensive to go to the doctor elsewhere. In Korea, it's incredibly cheap, like insanely cheap. I think if I were to convert this to dollars, that entire thing cost me 10,000 won, which is $10 for an ENT visit plus pills. My medical insurance covered like most of it. So, and my medical insurance is public insurance. It's not private. So, a doctor visit, an ENT, an ear, nose, and throat specialist visit, plus a diagnosis, plus a prescription for medication cost me $10. Which is like, hello, like what is that? So yeah, I'm very privileged to be here. So yeah. Anyway, you go to the doctor if you're sick because it's cheap. So you just go. So I went, and he informed me that unfortunately, I think I have bronchial asthma, which is something that unfortunately runs in my family. And that I had in a very limited way when I was a child. I had like a humidifier or a dehumidifier, whichever one it is, along with my sister, who also has asthma. But it started getting better when I got older. My allergies then developed, so I can't seem to catch a break. But the asthma kind of went away. It stayed. It only came back, and my chest only felt tight when I exercised. So when I was doing something strenuous, in addition to being the normal out of breath, like my chest would get really tight and I would struggle to breathe. That's like asthma, right? But only if I did like heavy exercise, right? So I was okay. It was manageable, right? And it's like, yeah. I didn't think about it again. And I thought, yeah, I guess I have asthma, but only if it's like exercise. So I guess I don't have asthma then. And then the doctor told me I have asthma. And I was like, oh no. And I said to him, but it was like going away. Like it went away. And he laughed at me and he said, my boy, it does not go away. It stays for life. Like if you have asthma, you have asthma. That's it. And I'm like, but no. But I don't want it. I don't want this asthma. Please take it away. And he says, that's not how it works. We give you meds and that's it. And I'm like, okay, cool. I mean, I know that obviously, but my sister and my mom both have asthma, so that's where I got it from. But not from my sister. She's younger than me, unless she I did some weird timey-wimey stuff when I wasn't looking. But my mom gave it to me, definitely. So thanks, Mom. Oh man. She doesn't watch these, but just in case. So, yeah, I have asthma now, again. I mean, I always had asthma, but now I have worse asthma. And it's got worse again. And it's probably corona plus travel plus stress plus work plus Korean air, I guess. So, yeah. Ah! Welcome, Alex. So, yeah, got asthma now. And I have my medication. And thank you for passing me sauce. And I am thoroughly annoyed. But honestly, it's okay. I mean, it's not like the end of the world. My lifestyle doesn't change that much. He said that I shouldn't, while I'm on the medication, I shouldn't drink alcohol, which, fine. I mean, I don't really drink anyway. I socially drink, is the trendy thing to say. And, what's the other thing? I can't exercise, which is a huge blow to my lifestyle, of course. Like, because I was hitting the gym like 3 times a week, bro. Actually, that's not really like, if I'm a gym bro, I have to do it at least 6. And he also said, I can't drink cold water. Like, should try not to. I should only ever drink warm water or hot water. So I have warm water here. And warm water is not something that I really ever drank because I don't like the sensation of warm water. But I realized what I was really doing was not taking cold water and warming it up, which I like the taste of cold tap water. But warm tap water is not the same taste, is it? Because hot tap water doesn't come from the same place. Cold water comes from the pipes. It's always moving around. Hot water comes from the boiler or the geyser if you've got one. And so it's been sitting in a place for ages and it tastes stale. So I never enjoyed the taste of hot water. So yeah. So now I've had cold water that I microwave. And it gets hot in a minute, and it's actually nice. So, you know, I can do this. But drinking cold water is definitely something that, like, I can tell increased my cough and, like, exacerbated it. I don't know how it works. I am a science teacher, but it's been a while, so I'm not really sure. But yeah, get scared. Yo, same. Alcohol hurts. Oh no. This is not permanent meds, by the way. He only gave it to me for like 6 weeks. Do I have to go back to him or something? I don't know. But if it runs out and I'm not like better yet, I guess I'll go back. But yeah, yes. In response to your earlier comment, Alfregs, I did hear you. Your fiance, you can tell her that it cost me $10 to go to the doctor, get a consultation and get a full prescription of cough meds and asthma medication for $10, like everything. And if the insurance didn't pay, it would have probably been $25. But they pay for like most of it. But yeah, it's wild. And the more you go, the more they pay. It's wild. Like, the more I've noticed with my bills, with the receipt at the end, the more that you go to the doctor, your public insurance pays more. So, like, more of a percentage. It's wild. Yeah. Yeah, bro. Like, you came, I thought you were here. Like, you were like, I'm here. Yeah, I'm here. And then I was telling you about the visit. I thought you were listening to it. You spend 7 hours a day in the gym, so that's going to be a blow. Wait, what do you mean? Do you mean like my job? Oh, you're being sarcastic. You're along with me. Yeah. Although, to be fair, he told me, what job do I have? And I said, I'm a teacher. He asked me what job I had. I said, I'm a teacher. And he said, that's bad. Because you're supposed to give your voice a rest right now. He said as he's streaming. Sorry, screw it. You know what? No, I don't want to give it up. I like streaming. I like teaching. I'm going to do it. And I said, it's not good. He says, just don't raise your voice a lot. And I was like, okay, I'm fine with that. I'm not raising my voice now. So it's all good. Anyway, so warm water is icky. A lot of what I try and do right now is, like, I'm actually straining a lot of my voice, which is very weird. When I'm streaming, I speak in a very strange tone, I guess. It kind of puts my voice up here. So if you don't mind, maybe I'll do it down here. Let's try. I think it's maybe the angle that I'm looking at my laptop. If I do it like this, maybe it'll be better. Anyway, warm water is icky. See, I thought so too, but I'm drinking it now, and it's actually okay. Like, I'm okay with that. $10 free at point of use, bitch. Well, we can't all have, like, partially socialized healthcare. Bro, I was supposed to pay $250 just to get looked at. Yeah? Yeah, bro. Bro, I mean, we know. We know how America is. A lot of people... So I love the idea that a lot of people tell us, like, you're not American, so you can't talk about American problems, as if America doesn't make itself the topic of, like, everyone's news feed, like, every day. Like, we know about as much as you do about what's going on there. That's very good, by the way. I know how the healthcare system works there. Because, like, you know, it's hard to avoid. I didn't hear amount of money, and I was settling in, so I was somewhat distracted. Ah, okay. All right, fair enough. All right. Now, listen. I want to get into the voice call right now, so I'm going to hang out there. You can join if you want. But it is nice to have you in chat so that we can, like, you know, populate it. But, yeah. For the rest of you, I've just Googled Temuera Morrison. I haven't read anything. So I want to learn about this. I would really like to learn about this. So let's open up Google and learn about Temuera Morrison. Apparently, he's in the news for doing, like, something. Or saying something. Making a comment on something. And I don't know what it is. So we're just going to get... Here we go. I mean, yeah. Alright, so it sounds a bit like Avengers, if you ask me. Boba Fett star on Dave Filoni's Mandalorian movie. Oh, did he make a comment on the Mandalorian on Dave Filoni's movie? Okay, so by the way, this is something I do know. For context, not about Temuera Morrison, but about Dave Filoni. There are 3 new movies coming out in the next little while. Over the next, like, maybe 3 or 4 years. Maybe longer, probably. Kathleen Kennedy announced this at Star Wars Celebration. On the first day, I think. Which I wasn't there for, but I know she did it, obviously, because I was also there for the other days. And she announced 3 films. All 3 of which I'm incredibly hyped for. The first one is this one. The Dave Filoni film. It's a Dave Filoni film. He gets to direct his own film. Super cool. Happy for him. And he gets... it's like the Mando-verse film. So I think it's going to be... And this is actually ringing true for me, because I think... But not in a bad way. Because I think that he's going to use this film as an opportunity to, after Ahsoka's finished, to tie in The Mandalorian and Ahsoka, and then everything else as a result of that, so Rebels and whatever. And I think it's going to be Thrawn as the bad guy, and because he's been, like, teased in Mandalorian and Ahsoka. Well, he's going to be a main thing in Ahsoka. Thrawn is the bad guy, and, like, the sort of the Shadow Council that we've seen. I'm not going to spoil too much about Mandalorian, but I know that... oh yeah, but just in case, spoilers for Mandalorian Season 3. I think I'll just put that in chat quickly. Alright, I'll probably wait until after I eat because my headset becomes exponentially more sensitive when in Discord chats compared to a normal Xbox party. Okay, fair enough. I didn't see anything about a comment on the movie, just Mando Season 3. Oh, he made comments on Mando Season 3. Ah, okay. Okay, I'm just gonna type here, possible, minor spoilers for Mando Season 3. And I'm also gonna put this... I'm gonna put the spoilers up as well. Potential Mandalorian spoilers. Minor Mandalorian Season 3 spoilers. Okay. Done. Done. Is this equally distanced? No, it's not. Let's make that nice and satisfying. Right. Alright, so basically what we now know is Thrawn has been teased in The Mandalorian. The Shadow Council's in The Mandalorian. And we know that Thrawn is going to be a big part of Ahsoka if you've seen the trailer. So because of that, I think that it's going to be exactly this. I think it's going to be an Avengers-type movie where it's Thrawn is the bad guy, and we've united the Mandalorians and Ahsoka and Grogu, maybe Luke, and the New Republic is not going to take them too seriously, so they're the only ones that are going to be able to fight against Thrawn. And Carson Teva is going to be part of this, and maybe Zeb and the rest of the Ghost crew. I don't know, because we've seen Hera in live action, now we've seen Sabine, we're going to see Ezra. Why not Zeb and his boyfriend? So, yeah. I think that should be fun. Like, I'm stoked for it. The other two movies that have been announced is one that goes all the way back, which I'm incredibly stoked. I can't decide which one I'm stoked for more. I'm an equally amount of hyped for each of them for different reasons. The second one is The Old Republic. It's the first canonized full like film version of The Old Republic, and we go back to the first ever Jedi. Now, I know everything about what's going on in the first Jedi of the Order in Legends. I don't know what they're going to do in canon. I'm so excited to see how they interpret it, if they use that at all. They don't have to, because, to be honest, the origin of the Jedi is a cautionary tale, like it should be. In Legends, basically, it's a lesson in don't try to use the dark side of the Force and pretend it's just part of the Force, because that's basically what they did. It's a bunch of people trying to play both sides, and then the dark side has started a war. Like, go figure, you know. So yeah, that's that movie. And the third one is going to be Rey. It's going to be sequel era, 15 years after the events of the sequels, Rise of Skywalker, and Rey Skywalker is going to be teaching the new generation of Jedi. And it's everything for me. It's everything I wanted. Daisy Ridley coming back. Maybe the other two, John Boyega and Oscar Isaac, maybe. No, nothing was confirmed, but I'm saying maybe because they're such a good trio, in my opinion. I freaking loved their chemistry on all three of the sequel movies. So I'm really hoping that they will come back. But having said that, yeah. So I do think this movie is going to be like fairly Avengers. Anyway, so Temuera Morrison comments. Mandalorian comments. Can I like? Boba Fett has expressed disappointment. Okay, so this is the independent.co.uk. This is Screen Rant. Ah, okay. And this is the New York Times. All right, so we're gonna do three different ones and see if they match up. This is how you source check, by the way. You check different articles. I'm not doing the most that I could do, but this is very low stakes, so. All right, a Star Wars actor has expressed disappointment over The Mandalorian's latest season. The latest season of the spin-off, which stars Pedro Pascal, drew to a close earlier this month to a lackluster response from viewers. Lackluster? Snooze fest? What? Bro, what do you mean? That final episode was freaking amazing. Released on Disney Plus, and this feels a little bit inflammatory, to be honest. Ugh, I literally fell for the clickbait. I have... Oh, register for free. No, I'm good. All right, so here we go. Boba Fett actor Temuera Morrison was also frustrated with the show, but for a personal reason. The actor, whose own spin-off The Book of Boba Fett was released on Disney Plus, was expecting to be in some episodes. Oh, he thought he was gonna come out in Mandalorian. That's interesting. However, an appearance never came to fruition, despite Pascal appearing in the Boba Fett spin-off, which is something that has sparked controversy among fans, including me. Especially different articles of varying degrees of credibility. Absolutely. We're going to check a few different ones. However, an appearance never came. Okay, I was supposed to be in The Mandalorian Season 3, but nobody rang me. If nobody rang you, how did you know you were supposed to be in it, though? You just wanted to, and they didn't give you the call? I'm not going to pass any opinions yet, but I'm just trying to ascertain, like, what the issue is. I was waiting for the phone call in New Zealand, waiting and wanting to give up. Oh no. Hang on. He said of Pascal's appearance in the Book of Boba Fett, well, that Mando guy stole a few chapters of my book. I'm sure this guys are ruining my show, but I couldn't say anything. I'm not the writer, so I have to bear it, I guess. I mean, to be fair, Dr. Pershing stole like half an episode of Mando, and I'm not unhappy about that. I like it. I'm just saying, like, using his words. And in the Bad Batch, we've had entire episodes of not Bad Batch, from season 1 all the way through season 2. So, right off the bat, this shouldn't really be a surprise, to be honest. Because, this is just what Dave Filoni does. And Jon Favreau. Like, they do this thing to, like, tell different stories. While Morrison may seem perturbed by his absence from The Mandalorian, it is worth noting that the actor is known for his wry, honest remarks. That's fairly true. I mean, I know him as, like, very candid. And very, like, irreverent as well. I'm sure this guy is ruining my show is kind of wild, though. Like, that's a real, I mean, he's allowed his opinion, obviously. And I know a lot of fans that would agree with him. I don't, but that's fine. Earlier this month, it was revealed that Daisy Ridley was returned as the character Rey. Okay, what is this, like? Oh, that's just extra stuff. Okay, cool. So I got that much. What's Screen Rant saying? Boba Fett star has weighed in on his character's absence. Alright, so Temuera Morrison has officially weighed in on Boba Fett's absence from The Mandalorian Season 3. After the fraternal bond that has been built between Boba Fett and Pedro Pascal's Din Djarin thus far, many a theory was raised online about the former's appearance in the third outing of The Mandalorian. However, these hopes were quashed with the release of The Mandalorian Season 3, Episode 8, proving that Morrison's iconic Mandalorian was left out of the season's proceedings. I'm going to be honest, would have been cool, but I think he's busy, you know? He's like ruling an empire. He can't exactly leave his post, you know? Like, after Book of Boba Fett ended, he, as far as I know, if I remember correctly, he still wanted to be there. Like, he still wanted to rule, right? So, like, I think he's there. I think he's, like, in... Yeah, I think he's on Tatooine. So it's not like he can sort of just abandon his duties and running a city. Maybe he could take a day or two off, you know. But yeah. It would have been cool to see him, but I mean, I didn't even think of him in the show, to be honest. Maybe it's because it's been so long since I've seen Boba Fett. I know they had a good relationship, but Din kind of makes bonds with a lot of people. So, yeah, I don't know. He did go to Tatooine to see Pally, though. So, maybe he could have seen Boba Fett there. That would have been a pretty good opportunity to put him in. But yeah, I mean, I wasn't upset that he wasn't, though. All right, let's see. As reported by comicbook.com, Temuera Morrison has addressed his character's absence from the show. During an interview at Supernova Comic-Con and Gaming Convention, Morrison stated, "I was supposed to be in The Mandalorian Season 3, but nobody rang me. I was waiting for the phone call New Zealand, waiting and wanted to give up. Well, that Mando guy stole a few chapters of my book. I'm sure this guy is ruining my show, but I couldn't say anything. I'm not the writer, so I have to bear." Okay, same quote. Let's see if the quote is here too. Oh. Hang on. Temuera Morrison discusses The Mandalorian. Was this... Wait, when was this written? Go away. If this was written a while ago... 2020. Okay, never mind. Right, while these comments may seem confrontational and overly cynical, it's worth pointing out the actor's always been humorous and unserious. Yeah, okay. See, yeah, this is what I mean. Like, Temuera Morrison is always known for this, and if he were to say something like this, I could be fairly sure that he said it in, like, a joking tone. And if it's literally just text on a screen, it's very easy to misinterpret. So let's not, like, you know, lose our heads, right? This is also, again, this is the most low stakes of drama, like, ever. So I'm just being very chilled about it. All right. These comments were likely made in jest, specifically about Mando ruining the Book of Boba Fett. Yeah, exactly. Regardless, it's likely true that Fett was planned for The Mandalorian Season 3, with the obvious changes made to the season altering this, unbeknownst to Morrison. This would naturally come as a disappointment to the actor, who's been incredibly committed to Star Wars since the release of the prequels. I mean, that's true. He does love it. And I love that he's, like, literally always down to play anything. Like, down to play Boba Fett, down to play clones, as we see in Obi-Wan Kenobi. That was awesome. Such a cool scene. Yeah, I love it. Could he return? I'm not going to read this because this is not relevant to that. All right, let's go to Twitter. I'm sure this will be reasonable. All right, what do you guys think? I mean, the difference is there was basically 2 episodes of a 7-episode show in its first season, just taking a whole detour to talk about the guy who already had 2 8-episode seasons. And in those episodes, he had the most important things for his arc just done and done, you know? At the end of Mando Season 2, he has no Grogu. At the beginning of Mando Season 3, he has Grogu and a new ship. And people who haven't seen the Book of Boba Fett be like, where did he get those, you know? It's somewhat different when it's a 16-episode season or it's a show in his 3rd season. At least that's my perspective on that. Yeah. No. I mean, I can see it. If he's a little bit frustrated with not appearing when it's like natural that if Mando's going to be such an important part of his show, then he could be at least a small part of Mando's. However, I will say, Boba Fett is not equal to The Mandalorian. And I think everyone needs to kind of realize this. There might be an incredible, intense love for the character of Boba Fett. But he is not a huge Star Wars character. The Mandalorian, Din Djarin, has become one of the most iconic Star Wars characters in Star Wars in a very short time. And he has had not even half the time to age that Boba Fett has. I think Boba Fett is iconic just because of the unknown factor about him. He was iconic before then as well. Even before we'd explained a lot of his story. Just from being in the originals and being a scary bounty hunter. Like, everyone was like, oh, wow, Boba Fett. And then Legends came out, and, like, I think Legends material, like, did comic books and, like, books about him, and those made him, like, a fan favorite. But Din Djarin has been elevated to his level and past him. Like, way past him in general popularity. So, it's not like they have an equal playing field on the shows that they're each in, you know? The Mandalorian does have the influence available to jack a few episodes of Boba Fett. Boba Fett does not have the same influence to jack episodes of The Mandalorian. I mean, to even have Boba Fett in The Mandalorian was, like, it was awesome that he spent as much time as he did in The Mandalorian, you know? When I'm fairly sure maybe at the beginning they were like, let's make him a small cameo. I would love to see a clip of him actually saying this, to see the tone he actually said it in, and maybe even what it was said in response to. I want to see the question that was asked him. Yeah, absolutely. What I want to know is, were the clone voices in the Keller and Beck sequence Tem or the re-speecher AI? That's a good question. Because if he wasn't asked... Ooh. Let's look at the credits. Mandalorian Season 3... IMDb will show us the credits. Okay. All right. Where was he? Where was the Foundling? Okay. We can look at the cast for this. Top cast, Katie Saka. Yeah, Temuera. Yeah, he was the voice of the Clone Troopers. So they did call him. So they called him to be the clones, but they didn't call him to be the thing. Also, I don't know if Star Wars themselves would be as scummy as to, like, writers of Star Wars. I'm not talking about, like, CEOs and executives, because they would. But, like, the writers of content, I don't think that not Star Wars, like Disney. The writers of this content, I don't think would be so scummy as to use re-speecher for a guy who's not only still alive, but eager to do Star Wars content. I don't think that would be a thing at all. So yeah, he is in here, and I'm not surprised. I know Tem is credited, but I haven't looked for the re-speecher. What do you mean you haven't looked for the re-speecher? Would they credit an AI? That would be like incredibly bad for them to do. Even if they credited the AI for redoing Temuera Morrison, what it means is that they have. Because he didn't get a call for Boba Fett, if they didn't use him for clone voices and didn't give him a Boba Fett role, and then credited an AI in whatever they were doing, it would send a very clear message that they're not interested in working with him for this project, rather than just it wasn't in the cards for the story we wanted to tell. So yeah, I think it would be a really dumb move to use the AI at all. In Kenobi, they have a credit for the re-speecher for Vader. Really? Oh, but see, James Earl Jones is not doing Vader. Well, he was after that, but what did they do it for? Because I don't think it... But again, it wasn't for, like, replacing. It was for adding, because James Earl Jones was in Vader. Was in the Obi-Wan Kenobi show. So, yeah. Excuse me. When you say re-speecher, do you mean like just taking samples of his voice and creating something, or do you mean like listening to him read the lines and then make them younger or whatever? Because like when you say AI, it makes me feel like just imitating someone's voice. Probably adding that extra electronic sound of speech over Hayden's. Maybe. I can't remember exactly how they do it, but there is mention of that AI in the credits of Kenobi and Boba Fett for Vader and Luke. Oh, wait. I think the AI was mentioned for Luke because of because Mark Hamill is old. And it's not the act. They used CGI to do it rather than hire a new actor to actually be Luke, which I thought was also a very weird decision because it really like it tends to take you out of the moment. I'm going to be honest. Like, I think they should have just cast someone. It really can't be that difficult. But yeah. So, hold on. Come on, the tongue is like the strongest muscle in the body. There we go. The satisfaction of getting your tongue to like get sesame seeds out of your teeth. So good. It's unparalleled. Let me put more sesame seeds in my mouth.
Sesame seeds? Sounds yummy.
You're goddamn right. Sesame fried tofu in a like as a basket, filled with rice, veggies, and like seaweed, sesame seeds.
That sounds lovely.
Yeah, it's Korean as hell. It's delicious.
Oh.
Hello, Alex.
Hi.
It's been a while since I've heard your voice.
It has.
I hope you're doing well. Also, as I'm looking at this on IMDb, I'm seeing Ahmed Best's face as Kelleran frickin' Beck. And I'm just getting...
It's majestic.
I'm just getting happy all over again. He was so cool. He frickin' killed it, man.
I still need to watch Jedi Temple Challenge. Just for Keller and Beck.
Oh, dude. I've seen the first... where was this Boba Fett love when the show came out?
Oh, bring.
So...
Like a bantha.
Like a bantha. I can do... Yeah, like there's a hashtag bring back Boba Fett. Jeez.
That's Star Wars theory.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, of course he would write it. Oh, man.
They did, and you hated it.
Of course he did. I can't wait to see this. All right, I'm going to not let the stream get super negative. So we're going to be like, I'm going to do my thing about it. And let's not like be too negative. I don't want to call Theory any names. Everyone knows how we should be feeling about him. He's just not a conducive person to like a constructive and positive Star Wars fandom at all. We don't have to call him names for that to happen. It will continue to be the same, and that will continue to be the reality. But yeah, I can't wait for this.
Wild Alfrix has appeared.
Oh my god, and suddenly my chat goes silent. Temuera Morrison.
This is getting out of hand, and now there are three of us.
Now there are three of us. All right, so...
No, I remembered his actual tweet that he started that hashtag in.
I need it, dude. Hold on. Give me like you know what? I hate doing this, but I am actually gonna search for Star Wars Theory at this point. Hang on.
Hold on, I'll do it for you.
No, I got it.
Oh, okay.
I'm right here, so it's all good. Star Wars wait, what? He's not here? Wait, what?
Imagine if for some random reason he blocked you.
Dude, wait, did he block? Wait, what? Why can't I find him? Or is he SW theory? Oh, no, he's here. He's here. Okay, there we go. Yeah, wait.
When
No.
I look for
Oh,
Star
no.
Wars theory,
No, that's
I get
Wars.
Natalie Holt.
That's Wars theory. Did he delete his Twitter? Hold on a second. Star Wars theory Twitter? Real Star Wars theory? Oh, this is him. Okay. Yeah, he's not followed by anyone you're following. That makes sense. And okay, cool. I mean, I guess yeah. Oh, this was awesome, by the way. This this thing of posters, freaking fantastic. Look at that all
Great
together.
buttons.
This was like at the end of we're gonna ignore the comment on the right, just like ignore that bit. But when we were at Celebration, they had these posters. Oh dude, I've got him on a t-shirt. Look at this. Look. That's him. That's me. It's me. Yodio. And I got when I was on when we were at Celebration during the merch section, like there's post-show merch, which is like official Celebration merch, and there's a whole area you can go to that's like cordoned off from everything else, and they've got these guys, but they're like full size on a wall. We took some photos in front of like Rey and Yoda and Grogu, and Din Djarin as well, and they're just so beautiful. Oh, I love this style so much, and it looks exact. Oh, and this is what they printed the passes on as well. So like this was the style of the badges that we got. So we've got 3 for Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and I have R2D2, C3PO, Leia, and Cassian. It's freaking awesome, man. Anyway, okay, we're gonna look at it for a second. I'm just gonna. Did anyone do anything on in chat? There's a new person here. Yo, Peaks Freak. What's up? Good morning, afternoon, evening. Welcome to the stream. We're talking about Temuera Morrison and why he's the center of a bunch of drama. He made some really weird, completely like Temuera Morrison comments about how he didn't appear in Mandalorian season 3, and then apparently like everyone jumped to defend him and like say he should have been in season 3. We're so disappointed. I will save most of my main opinions about this for once I am fully informed, but until then, I will say that the comment itself seemed very benign and didn't really feel like he wanted to start anything. But we'll see. All right. Let's see. Did he like... I'm not... okay. Bring back Boba Fett, make it trending. Okay, cool. I mean, it's trending now. I hope you're happy. Okay, so... alright, well, Temuera really didn't hold back. Okay, Battlefront 2015 and Fallen Order were amazing, but under EA, that's it. I often wonder why EA Star Wars only developed so few games over their 11-year contract. I'd have loved to see Battlefront 3 and 4, Force Unleashed 3, Darth Maul games, some kind of... Okay, same stuff he always says, it's fine. Right, so what's going on here? Well, Temuera really didn't hold back. Okay, now, again, what is Pinkertons? Is that... You mentioned Pinkertons in Discord as well. Is that a different thing?
That was a different thing.
Okay,
with
we'll
Wizards
get there.
of the Coast.
We'll get there. Okay.
Where's the one that he actually started it in, though? Because there was a...
Okay. All right. So, right when we read this, remember to read it with kind of a pinch of salt. Remember that it was spoken. It wasn't written. Temuera did not write this. He spoke it. And it's really difficult. In fact, I would wager almost impossible to determine tone of voice through speech. Obviously, I've read this in a ton of news articles now, but this is the real article, right? So here we go. Actually, this is just a screenshot on Twitter. So if it's not exactly the same, oh. Okay, this has got a few different things. All right, so let's read this. Take it with a pinch of salt. It's a screen grab, all right? We can't say that it's like full or super legit because there's literally no like... Yeah, where's this from? From the Q&A panel at Supernova Comic Con in Melbourne. I'm looking for footage. I want this person to find footage, please. Like... Hold on. Did you find footage? Okay, well, he's on Bring Back Boba Fett. Oh. Okay, yeah, Temuera really didn't hold back. Is this a pinned tweet? No. Did you watch the film? Sheer chaos, one way out. Okay, okay, it's fine. Right, I mean, is there something else? Trans rights are human rights. Hell yeah. Alright, so.
Oh, that Casey Sackhoff clip is hilarious.
I've never seen
That's
it.
the clip, I think.
Okay, let's watch it quickly, but hang on. Alright, let's see what's going on.
I don't know, like 70% are like super excited about Bo. You got 10% that are like, I hated the whole thing. You know, you got 5% that you just hate Bo, and then you got 2% that want me to sit on their face.
Only two?
Only two? Yeah.
What? Okay.
I mean, that 2%'s probably a bit low, but...
Bro, that's a low... She's being modest. She is being modest. Almost everyone in my, like, immediate Discord group is part of that 2%. So, like, I'm just...
It's gotta be at least 7.
Bro. Dude. I feel seen. Oh, goodness. Alright, so, so they haven't found footage, unfortunately. But let's read this. Actually, let me finish my food first. Oh, Peaks Freak left. Come back! I've had a few times where people say hi and then just leave. Is it because I respond late? Or do they not understand that a stream, like it takes time to go respond to a chat? It's fine. If you're still in here, you're still welcome. I'm not hating on you. I just want you to, I literally want you to come back, so it's like the opposite of hating on you. Alright, give me my medicine, please. God, it's so colorful. Got greens and blues and oranges here. Ah. Maybe they're Korean and can't follow the English. It's possible. I mean, I'm set as being in South Korea, so you know. I've actually had that a few times. But then they don't know I can speak it, so hang around and just tell me. And we can have a chat. Okay. Here we go. I was supposed to be in The Mandalorian Season 3. But nobody rang me. I was waiting for the phone call in New Zealand, waiting and wanting to give up. Well, that Mando guy stole a few chapters of my book. Great, this we did. It was painful watching him turn up with some black new lethal sword. Okay. I mean, cool. And the way he turned up in my book of Boba, he just destroyed everybody. I'm sure this guy is ruining my show, but I couldn't say anything. I'm not the writer, so I have to bear it, I guess. I think there's a few changes going on. We also come under the big umbrella known as Disney now too, so it's one of many previous few conversations we had in LA. The dialogue began like, oh look, we're having a few changes, we're having a few cutbacks, and while you hear that on the different finish of the road, it's no good attempting to barter any more cash that's for positive, so we'll see what occurs. I'm not sure on what on earth he means by that last comment.
Yeah,
It feels very Temuera. Like, I've heard him speak in interviews before, and he sometimes, like, mixes metaphors and and like he sort of starts a new thought before he finishes a previous one. So that this seems like it comes from him, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, okay. Do you know what I've seen? I've seen Mark Hamill talk about how he disagreed with Luke's direction in The Last Jedi, and then come back later and say, I wish people didn't clip me for that because I actually liked him in The Last Jedi and I came around to it, and I shouldn't have said that like in public. I've seen other actors come out against like things that happened and then they come around, and I've seen other actors praise things. The actor's opinion on something like is no more important necessarily than like the writer's opinion on something. And I mean, he said it himself. I'm not the writer. You can give suggestions, and certainly many people have in the history of Star Wars. Do you know how many lines have been changed from the original trilogy of Star Wars because the actors turned around to George Lucas and were like, George, we can't say this. This is like cringy as hell. Like
no one speaks like this.
I know there's a
clip of Mark Hamill out there where he like forced George to change some like some intense like sort of like Star Wars jargon like while they were on the Millennium Falcon. It was this crazy paragraph that he had to memorize, and he was like, no one talks like this. This is not going to sell at all. So they changed it. And unfortunately, that is actually one of the big issues. And I think if you haven't thought about this before, I urge you to. Remember, back then in the original trilogy, George Lucas was not very well known as a director or a visionary as he is now. But by the time the prequels came around, you have not only by the original trilogy, George Lucas was being made as a visionary along with the actors Carrie Fisher, Mark Hamill, Harrison Ford, etc. But by the time of the prequels, he's already the visionary who's like changed pop culture forever. So now you've got new actors, relatively not that known. Many people got their like big break from Star Wars, and they don't necessarily have the same sway that the original actors did, because like you're going to question George Lucas as an actor, especially if you're a new actor. So yeah, I mean, I get that. So that is probably one of the main reasons why the dialogue in the prequels is so like, you know, roasted, you know. But yeah.
Well, that and many of the rewrites that happened for the original trilogy weren't. Yeah. Everybody else on set did those. His wife.
Yeah.
One of the other, you know.
Oh, his wife did the Phantom Menace as well. Did you know? Oh no, it wasn't the Phantom Menace. Oh, it was actually no. She did the New Hope. She did a New Hope. Like he wrote a New Hope, and then his wife rewrote it, and that's the version we see. Like she took his stuff and like proofread the shit out of it. It was very interesting. Okay, so
I thought she was an editor.
I mean, yeah, she was. I think she was like one of his editors as well. I'm not sure if she was like a professional one.
She had a pretty big hand in it either way.
Yes, no, definitely. All right, so at the end of the statement, I'm like, if I heard this IRL, I would walk away going, oh, wow, that's interesting, and then probably never think about it again. And I honestly believe that more people should be doing this. If an actor comes out and says something about a character, that is not your excuse to be like, whoa, this is it. And you center your entire self around this one tiny statement. Do you know how much pressure that puts on people to like watch what they say? And then these will be the same people who turn around and say, oh, well, you can't say anything anymore. I wonder why. Because you'll take like the tiniest thing and start a whole hashtag about it. It feels like you're trying to have everything, and you can't. You can't have it both ways. You can either make people incredibly hyper aware of the things that they say because they're worried of stepping on someone's toes or pissing off some fandom, or you can walk away when they say stuff like this and not think about it again, like you should. So
yeah, like this was obviously just like, okay, like just being like, okay, well, that's a thing that happened anyway.
But here's the thing. Even if he is pissed off, so what? Do you know how much money he has? Yeah. It's fine. He'll be okay. I think he'll be okay. And I don't... It's
yeah,
not
he
like
just go down to the Polynesian spa.
it's it's not like he needs. It's not like he was abused on set. It's not like something like human rights related or like something abusive happened. It's not like any. This is such a low stakes thing, you know? But if I know Star Wars theory, he is 100% dedicated to the Star Wars fandom grift. And what I mean by that is as soon as he sees a way to stay relevant as a creator, he will take it and run with it. So there are people who receive financial benefit from actively doing this kind of thing. So let's read about it, I guess. All right.
I know for a fact he's going to be talking about this for weeks.
Yeah. Temuera Morrison really deserves so much better from Disney Lucasfilm. Man has been with Star Wars since the prequels and loves it so much. He's the heart and soul of the Fets and why we even have clones. Amazing. So cool. I think he's such a great thing. He got his own show, though. And, like, that, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm not against it officially. Like, I'm not going to be like, you know, screw the bring back Boba Fett hashtag. I just don't have a horse in the race. I'm more like, don't overreact so much to what celebrities say. I'm trying to be chilled, but I didn't really have a chilled moment back there. It was just like, yeah. Okay, let's think. The reason why, there are a few reasons why people might do something like this. First is the financial gain. Like people like Star Wars Theory, there are people who financially gain from riding trends like this because they stay relevant. There are other... Hello? What's going on? There are other people who use this to like vent frustrations, and that's fine too. If you have a genuine frustration with this, that's great. You're totally allowed that. And there are other people that are just sort of, I guess, trying to do something else with it. There are people that are waiting to have a bone to pick with Disney or a bone to pick with like new Star Wars, like Disney canon or whatever, and are just homing in on like whatever scraps they can get from the table, you know. So that's basically how I feel about it. All right. I mean, but I agree though. I love what Temuera Morrison has done for Star Wars. It's great. I mean, playing as him in Star Wars Republic Commando is incredible. It was so good to feel his voice in my ears for like 5 hours. It's freaking awesome. All right. Cool. Temuera Morrison doesn't seem too happy with the Mandoverse right now. Yeah. This hurts so much. Temuera Morrison's been my favorite since the prequels, and the reason why I love the Fets, he deserved far better. They really did him dirty, and it sucks so much. You could tell how excited he was to be back as Boba Fett, and we all know what happened next. Okay. You did it. Bring back Boba Fett is trending. All right, cool. This is a Temuera Morrison Boba Fett appreciation post. Hell yeah. Oh, Taters is here. Good morning. We're talking about Temuera Morrison. Let's catch you up quickly. Temuera Morrison was not in Mandalorian Season 3. A lot of people expected him to be, which is a wonderful lesson in expectations and how you should never let them like dictate what you want to see in the show. And he wasn't in it. I didn't like... Oh, I should calm my voice down. Yes. I have bronchial asthma, which was diagnosed today. And I'm supposed to be keeping my voice to a fair minimum. Let's keep it down here. I didn't really expect Temuera Morrison to be in... I didn't expect Boba Fett to be in Mandalorian Season 3. I thought he was done after his... I mean, it's okay, I guess. Sorry, responding to chat. My throat is fine. It's just a cough that ends up happening like every now and then. But yeah, so I didn't expect Boba Fett in The Mandalorian. I didn't even think about him there because I assumed that when Book of Boba Fett ended, that's it. If they wanted to continue his story, they could have done it like in the next Book of Boba Fett. Because, you know, he was introduced as a character in The Mandalorian Season 2. The Mandalorian then had a few episodes in his show. And then that's it. Like, it's 1 for 1, right? That's cool. And, I mean, yeah. But at Superverse, is it like Superverse Comic Con or something? He was there. And at a Q&A, he made some comments about how he was really disappointed that he wasn't there in Mando Season 3. And some people, for various reasons, some people for the grift, some people for, their own frustrations, genuine frustrations, have spoken out against this. And now, #BringBackBobaFett is trending. As if Temuera Morrison has not already had an incredible amount to do with Star Wars. Like, this is just one. If you look at all the things that he has been in Star Wars, he doesn't have to be in everything, I'm not coming out against the hashtag necessarily. I just don't see why it needs to be as big as it does. It could just be, why couldn't it just have been Boba Fett appreciation? That's my question. And my answer to that question is that Bring Back Boba Fett, which was started by Star Wars Theory, is an attempt to galvanize people against something rather than galvanize people for something. Instead of inherently creating something that is for Boba Fett, which the hashtag would assume to be, it is actually made in reaction to what we perceive Disney has done, because it's always what we perceive as a fandom. and therefore Disney is somehow responsible. And doing this maliciously or whatever. And therefore, hashtag justice for Boba Fett, hashtag justice for this, justice for that, right? For low stakes issues like this, it's like it seems incredibly, it seems a little bit over the top. The person who started the hashtag is obviously not doing it for good faith reasons, because he never is. And I think the like I said, it's galvanizing people, despite the fact that the hashtag is inherently for Boba Fett. If you look at what it's about, it is against someone else, which is kind of, in low stakes situations like this, why not just make a Boba Fett appreciation hashtag? Just inherently, in and of itself. Don't make it like, no, make sure that Boba Fett is in everything, because then, you just muddy the waters, Just appreciate him. Let Temuera Morrison know you love him in a way that is not also fighting against Disney, because you're just itching for that ammo that you can use against this gigantic corporation, because you feel powerless in other real ways that you could take down gigantic corporations, of which there are almost none. That's, for me, it is a lot of it. This kind of movement is started by people who stand to gain financially from it spreading, because they gain relevance. And it is continued by a lot of people who have been waiting to show their distaste for a corporation when they are completely powerless to fight the corporation in other effective ways. So they choose this way, because this is the way that they can. There's a very organic way to bring Boba into Mando Season 3, considering Boba owes Din a favor after he stuck his neck out to help him with the pikes. That's true. Yeah. He's been in so much Star Wars stuff. Why does he need to be in someone else's show? That beats me. I mean, they're both Mandalorians. They're pretty good friends now. But my thing is also Din made friends with lots of people, and he got his own show. This is the thing. I thought that was the reward for what Temuera Morrison has done for Star Wars. Is it not? Because I don't know of any other... what other solo characters have we seen in Star Wars that received their own TV show, fully produced and everything, of their story? Because, besides Boba Fett, I don't really know if there is one. And then there's Ahsoka. And Ahsoka appeared in 7 seasons of The Clone Wars, and Rebels, and Mandalorian. And she was a main character in the Clone Wars, one of the main characters. Boba Fett was not a main character in the OT. In the original trilogy, he was a side character who looked really cool and was really interesting. And even in the context of the movies, only interesting for his mystery. So, look, again, don't get me wrong, I'm not bashing Boba Fett. Because I love Boba Fett. But he started as a side character, and Temuera Morrison ended up playing the clones in live action, which was awesome. Then he played a clone again in Obi-Wan Kenobi, and then but before that, got his own show, which is something that we never see for side characters. Never. So, I don't know what more you want from the thing. I know what the person who started the hashtag wants, but beyond that, yeah. It makes sense that he wouldn't show up. They're reuniting the Mando clans, and he doesn't identify as one except to get the armor back. That's a great point. He's not really a Mandalorian in, like, belief. He doesn't believe in it at all. Din asks him when he meets. He says, "Are you a Mandalorian?" And he says, "I'm just a simple man trying to make my way through the galaxy," which is a spin on what his father said. His father said universe. So it's like, so he's not a Mandalorian, self-identified, but he does wear the armor. He doesn't really believe in the creed. So they're just friends. So, like, what must he do? Anyway. I wouldn't even call him a side character. He's a background character. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Boba Fett sold a lot of merch. Feels kind of greedy. Yeah. And he can be disappointed. Here's the thing. Even if he's pissed off, that's great. But, like that's fine. He's allowed to be. He's a human being. But the problem is, what I said earlier is, is what's really interesting is, and sad actually, is even if he is pissed off, it's the reaction that you should be having to this is anywhere along the lines of, okay, walks away. Because that's it. Like, that's all it is. It's a very low stakes situation. But people are latching onto this. And what's really interesting is, I'm going to come back to the person who starts the hashtag again and again, because in particular, their example, they are the type of person to then talk about how, man, guys, we have to be so careful. We can't say things anymore. Otherwise, people are going to take us out of context. Gee, that's a really good point, isn't it? So you can't have it both ways. You can't make celebrities cautious and, like, hyper aware of everything they say because they're held to some, like, godlike standard about the characters they play, and then also be upset about that hyper awareness when you're the one who is contributing to it. Okay. Here we go. Temuera Morrison has given a literal lifetime to Star Wars. The very best Star Wars can do is bring back Boba Fett. Okay, cool. Okay, that's fine. I'd love to do a Captain Rex project of some kind. Oh, dude. Absolutely. Make him Rex, please. Make him Rex in the Ahsoka show. Why not? That'd be incredible. I'm getting thumbs up across the board next to me. Absolutely. That was an awesome shot, by the way. This was awesome. Footage. Okay, here we go. Okay, this is the video. Hang on. Kia ora. Hold on. Sorry, let's try again.
So let me just say a few words in my indigenous language. Kia ora, everybody. I'm alive. You're just too good to be true.
This man literally just, like, he just gets up on stage and is like everyone's, like, grandfather. You know what I mean? He just gets up and, like, has the best time he can, and he gives, like, exactly zero shits. I love him.
Had to take my eyes off of you. We're having a few cutbacks, and when you hear that on the other end of the line, it's no good trying to negotiate any more money. That's for sure. So we'll see what happens.
Okay, so that was so the quote we read. Let's bring that actually. It's like super interesting. Okay, so he's just said we also. Hold on, something about we're having a few cutbacks, and while you hear that on the different finish of the road, it's no good attempting to barter any more cash that's for positive. What is that? Completely not what he said. So this is a great way a great illustration of not taking things out of context. Please and thank you. God, like, listen to this. Hang on. Got backs?
And when you hear that on the other end of the line, it's no good trying to negotiate any more money.
When you hear that on the other end of the line, there's no good trying to negotiate any more money. While you hear that on the different finish of the road, it's no good attempting to barter any more cash that's for positive. Did the writer of this comment use a thesaurus and then just post in synonyms? It's so weird. All right, Morrison himself was in everything. It's not like he was a one-and-done actor. It feels greedy for him to be asking for more stuff. Like Ahsoka wasn't played by the same actor every time. That's a good point too. But again, I am not invested in what he wants. If they give him a role, if they don't get... Like, I don't know who he is as a person. I appreciate the work that he does, and I appreciate the role that he's in, but I'm not going to be parasocial about this. He's an actor who does his job, gives us amazing content. That's it. I'm not entitled to anything from him. He's not entitled to anything from me. We're strangers, you know? Just got to be like a human being about it, you know? He's like everyone's grandfather, so why take what he says at face value? It sounds like it was translated to a different language and then translated back to English. You know what? That is very true and very possible. It just makes zero sense at the end because of that. That's very possible. Okay. Either way, very important to check your sources, people. This is why you go straight here if you can. Okay, let's listen.
We'll see what happens, darling. Thank you very much. I saw you at my... And then I suddenly realized I'm standing there, and I had the helmet on, and I was breathing. And then all of a sudden I couldn't see anything. Yeah. Up, you know, my screen had fogged up. I can't see jack shit here. And I couldn't hear anything. I can't even hear anything.
Hang on, do I have a volume booster here? Let's see. Let me check, because I feel like it's a little bit soft, maybe. I don't know if you guys can hear it fine. But let's see, volume in my settings. Sound mixer, maybe? Oh, that's why. God, Microsoft Edge is on 25% volume. Okay, that's fine. Let's turn that down. This might break your ears. Just give me a second.
I'm sure they must have said action by now.
Oh my God, I've been living with Edge on 25% volume for months. And I only realized now. I hate it when this happens. Anyway, let's continue.
So anyway, I went. And I fell off the set. And I hadn't even said action. So there I was looking like a complete idiot.
I love him.
And then it started raining. In the set, they had all these sprinklers. You know, because we were on that Camino Island, so it was rain.
Ah, yes. The island of Camino.
Wet down my costume. I could see my double eating all the biscuits. And then I suddenly realized, you know, no one can tell who...
That explains another tweet that I saw.
Another what? What tweet did you see?
I remember seeing something about how Temuera Morrison doesn't even know his own
Oh yeah.
Home or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, but again, like, my care level is just low. Like, it's funny, you know? I don't see it as like a, we can't trust him for things. Because it's like, okay, cool. He just forgot the name. It's all good. Oh.
Hey, Double. Get in here. It's raining.
Double.
I'm going to go eat the biscuits. So that's what was involved with that, man. I'm bouncing around with my outfit. I'm singing in the rain.
God.
And George is looking at me, quite being patient. Can we get on with it, please, Mr. Morrison?
I wanna see Temuera Morrison dancing to Singing in the Rain in his Boba Fett suit yesterday.
And then I had an umbrella there, so I was just being a clown. Sometimes I gotta Stop being a clown. Take things more seriously, mate. Thank you very much for your Django Fed. I thought I had too much fun then, huh? I was just having so much fun, so it was just a wonderful opportunity for a number of years later to get the call again to play the clone's son. Obviously, some clever guy in LA said, look, Bobo's got to look like Django. He's the clone's son. Bring that Maori in New Zealand. And whoever thought of that was just he's a genius. Oh, they make him smart.
I love him. I love him. He's great. He's so cool. He's so funny and like he's great. Notice something very interesting about everything we're watching right now. The only evidence that we see of him being here and talking about Disney is this moment.
We're having a few cutbacks.
This cutbacks thing. This person who filmed this video filmed the whole thing enough for them to like cut between things. Well, maybe they didn't, but they filmed enough to cut between things and didn't feel it important enough to include the part where he's so-called trash talking like the Mandalorian. And I think that says a lot about the context in which his comment was made. I think that it was incredibly lighthearted. If he's even a little bit disappointed, he'll probably forget about it in 2 weeks when he's like, in his mansion or whatever. And when he comes back and does another Star Wars thing, when he comes back maybe doing clones in Ahsoka or doing the clone voice again somewhere else, or maybe Boba Fett will come back in something that they've planned down the line. Either way, doesn't matter because it clearly this person who filmed, and they're the only person in the world in my world that I know of right now researching this, that we have the only footage we have right now of Temuera Morrison saying this, and there's no footage about him trashing the Mandalorian at all, which tells me that at least this person, who unfortunately paid for a blue check mark, did not feel that it was important enough to broadcast this, which is just like, maybe that should communicate something to you, Of course, he doesn't sound anywhere near as upset as people are making it out to sound. He seems like the nicest man. Yeah, exactly. He's not upset at all. It's just lighthearted banter that Twitter taken out of context. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. All right, I want to look at more. I really feel bad. Sidelined in his own show, then not even brought back for the Mandalorian. Ugh. All right, people, can we let this be a lesson, please? I know everyone in here is like, we're preaching to the choir, we're on the same side, but with this Temuera Morrison shit, we've now seen the video. The context in this was the most light-hearted, dismissive comment. Everyone laughed. He's telling jokes. The whole time he's telling jokes. If you've seen any Temuera Morrison interview ever, you know how unhinged it is. He goes off on his own for as long as the interview is there. He doesn't even need an interviewer. He can just get up there and entertain people for as long as he needs. And that's it. He'll sing and dance, and he's done haka before. And he'll speak in his language as well. And everyone will just eat it up and will be entertained because he's great. He's a great entertainer. And that's all it was. And I think if you're listening to this and you're angry about and you want to hashtag bring back Boba Fett, think about everything they've asked him to come back for in Star Wars, and then think about the fact that he was a character who got maybe 5 minutes of screen time, not even, in the original trilogy. And they gave him his own show. If that's not a thank you for your service to the extent that you are satisfied, then I don't know what is. I think the other issue I'm having is that it wasn't his show, it was a Star Wars show. Oh, well, I mean, that's true as well. The actors don't own the characters, and they can be recast as well. That's also very true. I understand that you can be attached to the character, so that part I'm like, yeah, it's cool. And him being disappointed is fine because he's a human. He's allowed to be disappointed. But he said all of this in the same tone of voice. So it doesn't really sound to me like he it doesn't really sound to me like he did any what is it? Like he had any malicious intent when he said that, Yeah. Why aren't these people upset for Jar Jar Binks or that actor? Yeah. I mean, we were, but we were, I don't think I've ever heard anyone make the hashtag, justice for Ahmed Best trend, Okay. The time has come, comrades. Our friend Temuera Morrison needs us. We must fight for him. Here are some memes you can use if you want. This is the most parasocial, stuff I've ever seen. This is 100% what powerlessness under capitalism looks like. 100%. All right, so as a Django Boba Fett fan, this is infuriating. Bruh. He's bent over backwards to be in Star Wars, and this is how he is treated. Bruh, how many other people are bent over backwards to be in Star Wars, and they don't even get a shot? How many people, quit their jobs to go to go be actors for Star Wars, and they, audition and they don't get in? You're only seeing one guy, and he was the successful one. How many other failures are you not doing hashtags for? I just it's just weird. It's just weird. Appreciate him. Don't fight for him. Ugh, I burn my... No, don't tell me you're doing the Luthen and or quote for this. Okay, I know I said I wouldn't get heated about this, but I'm slowly losing my mind. I don't know what you wanted from me in this, Alfergs. I don't know if this is... I don't know if this is what you wanted from me in terms of a reaction, but this is what you're getting. This is so cringe for me. Just don't be this, okay? It's not that deep. Ooh, Book of Boba Fett Season 2. That'd be fun. That'd be cool. I would like that. Because it feels like his story's not over. It feels like he's got a lot to do. Me watching everyone realize how messed up it was for the writers to sideline Boba in his own series. I mean, people have been realizing this. People have had this opinion for a while, So why haven't I followed him yet? Yeah. Yeah. Just Mandalorians are stronger together. Again, powerlessness under capitalism. Just if you're keeping yourself from if you're keeping yourself from sort of, yeah, if you want to be like me and keep yourself from getting too heated about this, which I'm going to try and do from now on, I'm sorry about that, but just bear in mind that this is not, that this, like I've said before, this is what powerlessness looks like under capitalism. If we are suffering economically, and we have no power in order to fight back, we have no, mobilizing is too slow, organizing is too slow for some people. I mean, to be fair, it'll always be too slow, but it doesn't matter. People don't know how to organize. People are cut off. People are powerless. People are economically paralyzed. Everyone is one financial disaster away from bankruptcy. It's one financial emergency rather. We're all completely powerless against corporations, and so we choose the one avenue that we can, that we feel we are fighting for something, because that makes us feel satisfied. That is how we sort of use what little power we have. It doesn't, and I don't mean to be, I'm not trying to be mean to these people. It just doesn't mean anything. This is not a fight, right? It's not a fight. No one's on the other side of the fight because there's been no statement from Disney or anything. It's just a quote. So, yeah. I just wanted to talk about it. This wasn't supposed to happen. Well, listen. Okay, Alfrex, you're still in Discord chat, right? Are you still here?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, I mean, give me your thoughts, because I've been talking a lot. So please tell me what you think while I finish this last piece of fried tofu.
Sorry, I'm composing myself right now.
That's fine. Take your time. I'm gonna put some music back. No, seriously, please do. No. You don't have to be quick about things. Please just take your time.
Obviously, after seeing his actual interview, I guess,
Yeah.
his panel at the con, it's very clearly that he probably wasn't entirely serious.
I don't think this man ever intended anyone to start a movement for him.
Oh yeah, absolutely not. I think he was just expressing his frustration at the fact that 2 of his 7 episodes were basically just Mando season 2.5.
Yeah.
Because you could remove those 2 episodes and
still have a story.
Not, yeah. But people, not gonna name names because it's a lot of people, obviously, kind of took that a little too far. Like I think he does kind of deserve more in the way of his show or his character show.
You weren't a fan of you weren't a fan of like how Boba Fett was handled?
Not how he was handled, but just the fact that 2/7 of his show so far has just not been at all relevant to his character. So I do think he deserves a little bit more in that way.
But I think like you said in the chat now, season 2 would be awesome, you know?
Yeah.
But again, cool, make a season 2. Like it's not
it's not a big deal.
It's not a movement level big deal, you know? I'll empathize if you truly feel like like what you say, if you feel like he deserved better in his show, that's totally cool. I can see why you would think that. And especially when I came away from the show for the first time, I've kind of neutralized on that opinion. I don't really care that much anymore, but I used to feel very strongly about the fact that 2 out of 7 episodes were not him. But I've just kind of moved on from it, you know.
Yeah.
Wait,
although
yeah,
I am here for the just hating on corporates, so I just wish it was for a better reason.
Yeah. It just sucks that these people, we have such power to mobilize, and we can so instantly form mobs online. We never really think that we can do it to corporations in a way that would like impact their bottom line, because that requires us to actually step out and inconvenience ourselves. This is just typing some words and putting up a picture that looks cool, right? But when it comes to actually standing up to the corporation that you claim you want to do in any meaningful capacity, you can't make that step. Because like this is how you do it, right? This is how you organize. You come together, you start a hashtag, and that's how it starts. But I guess that's too much. Wait, he bent over backwards. He's gotten paid over and over, and the franchise has been more loyal to him than they ever needed to be. Preach. 1000%. I absolutely agree. They say that as if we haven't been saying it's kind of icky since the day that Mando episode of Boba aired. Yeah, exactly. Someone saying like, you know, I've waited for people to realize that this happened in the series. Like we've been realizing, you know. Like we've had this opinion for ages. He wasn't in chapter 5 at all, and then he was in a single scene of chapter 6, which spent most of the time on Luke and Ahsoka for some reason. Like of all the places for us to first see Luke and Ahsoka on screen together. Oh yeah, that's also true. It was in the Boba Fett show, or actually just Luke and Ahsoka interacting at all in any medium. I want in the Ahsoka show, I want there to be maybe a flashback, but like maybe some kind of progressive time jump story of her first conversation with Luke. I'm sad that that's been off screen so far. I really want to see how the two of them would interact. And if he is there, please cast an actor. God, I can't deal with CGI Luke Skywalker anymore, please. The first one was like fine, I guess. I was crying too much, so like the tears blurred the badness of the CGI. But inside the Boba Fett show, I need like, it took me out of it. It was like uncanny valley stuff, you know. Really well done CGI. I'm not gonna lie, but just Anyway, sorry, you were saying something, Alfrex.
I'm actually kind of fine that what's probably like one of the biggest scenes for fans is just entirely kind of glossed over in this.
What?
Because of just the fact that Luke and Ahsoka do know each other and regularly interact with each other. I love that that's just a thing.
Yeah.
Like it's not
sure.
something special that happened. I actually kind of like that.
I do like that as well. But there must have been, there is so much context that we can add personally to their first meeting that I would pay so much money to see that on a screen, any screen.
Oh, I would love to see their first meeting.
Especially Ahsoka and R2's first meeting as well. Or first meeting since the Clone Wars ended.
And especially like if they figure out that they know the same guy.
Oh lol. And then
if they have that conversation, we need that. That is, I'll pay everything for that.
All right. It feels like people are giving this the same energy as they proposed at my wedding. Like, wait, what's they? Right. Yeah. Like, it's a Star Wars show. It was for Star Wars characters. It wasn't a personal slide for Morrison. Yes, absolutely. And have Luke be a real person. Yeah. I think we said that at the same time. It's mostly his mouth that takes me out. It's not how human mouths move. And then the fact they go out of their way not to show his face when he's talking. The budget didn't have that. Just cast someone. God, you're a multi-billion-dollar industry. You can't cast another actor. I'm not a fan of like sanctity.
To be
of
fair, after what happened,
yeah, you go first.
Yeah, to be fair, that after the reaction that Solo got because they didn't play or they didn't cast people that looked close enough to the original actors.
But they kind of did, though. I thought Alden Ehrenreich was a freaking amazing Han Solo. Also, again, I'm not a fan. In fact, I actually hate sanctity of celebrity, like sanctity of character roles, like sanctity of cast. If someone dies, or if someone is like taken out of the picture, if someone leaves the set, if anything happens that changes the status of the character, recast. We'll get used to it. It's okay. Solo was amazing, taters. I freaking loved Solo. I still love Solo. I am so upset that they released it at the same time as Infinity War, so that we can't, like, so that obviously it's not going to do well, and then they think, well, let's never make that again.
It's another purposeful flop.
It's so...
Disney really loves doing that, don't they?
It's so dumb. Oh, John Powell's score was fantastic. John Powell's score in Solo was one of the first things I ever did on streams. Okay, I gotta look at more. There is no Mandalorian without Boba Fett. Okay.
That's such a loaded statement.
What did you say? What? Oh, there is no Mandalorian without Boba Fett.
There is no Mandalorian without Boba Fett.
I mean...
Because, like, there totally could be. It just probably wouldn't look like they do.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. How badly they treated Tem. They didn't treat him fucking badly. Oh, God. Okay, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I would like to see the people...
this is not medical advice.
Yeah, no, please. My medical advice was to calm down and to just chill. I would like to follow the people that I follow talking about this. Please, we're going to scroll through my Twitter feed. What do you need? This. Please bring me a snack. I know that sounds really weird to everyone on stream, but getting up is kind of a hassle with this mic attached to my chair. And I said, please. She doesn't have to. Okay. Oh, hey, it's Akil. Oh, he's going to Calgary Expo. I remember seeing that. What's a life lesson you've learned from Assassin's Creed? Nothing is true. Everything is permitted. I took that with me for years after I played Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed inspired me to learn about my own religion. Oh, that's amazing. I wouldn't be a teacher or mentor today if it wasn't for this game. So cool. So freaking cool. I love these games, and especially the first one, which Akil loves so much as well. I know it kind of falls off.
Go play.
People kind of forget about the first one, just because it was kind of it started everything, but it's not like what people know now, because it's like a whole franchise. But I loved the first one. It was amazing.
I'm not gonna lie, as someone who is ever so slowly going through these games from the first one on.
Oh,
for the
Assassin's
first time.
Creed?
Yes.
Oh, that's sick.
Like,
Wow.
I'm not too far into Brotherhood, and I've been doing this for maybe 2 years now.
What an incredible way to explore this, though. That's so awesome.
But I kind of like the first one over the second one so far.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Yeah.
The second
simply because
the second one's pacing for me was kind of weird. Like the way the story progresses is a little bit off. I can't really put my finger on why, because I haven't played it in a while, but I did prefer the kind of overall feeling of number one for sure.
I mainly say that because it felt like the actual free running was better in the first one.
Oh, really? That's so interesting. Because, yeah, I will say that the mechanics drastically improve by each game. My favorite parkour mechanics are Assassin's Creed 3 with Connor. That's when they moved from a hold 2 buttons to hold 1 button system. And it just revolutionized the whole thing. And it was so much smoother as well.
That was actually the first AC game I completed.
Bro, Assassin's Creed 3 is one of my favorites. I don't know why it gets so much hate. I think maybe it gets so much hate because a Native American is at the center of it. But I thought it was amazing. And it gave me so much interest in the Native American language as well. Because they got experts on the language to come in and and consult the people who were delivering the lines. So cool. What doesn't sound weird, Taters? It was too long ago that I can't I can't remember what I said that may have been weird. I'm sorry. It's all just stream of consciousness. Who wins this fight? Jedi Fallen Order, Cal Kestis, or Asajj? It depends on
whoever the writers want to.
Yeah. I mean, that's obviously yes. Okay, we'll get that out of the way and say yes. If the writers want Asajj or Cal to win, they'll win, depending on the circumstances. But having said that, it depends on where in the game. Like Cal in the beginning would probably only really be able to run away because Asajj could,
mopped immediately.
Yeah, Asajj could probably take on the second sister and not win, but it'd be a cool fight. It wouldn't be completely outmatched. Like, she's a Sith assassin. She's fought in a war, Cal was a Padawan when he fought in the war.
Which is a sentence no one should ever have to say.
Oh, yeah, true. Fair enough. Same as Ahsoka. Like, she was 14.
Yeah. And why was she wearing those clothes while doing it as well? That's all.
What I like is how, as she got older, there was, like, a subtle attempt to, like, put more clothes on her and, like, expose less skin. And I'm like, yeah, I see you. I see what you're trying to do. Very weird that you have to do that, but,
Yeah, and then we got her season 7 costume, which is impeccable.
Chef's kiss. Ahsoka's season 7 costume is goated. I really enjoyed her Mando. I really enjoyed her Mando costume as well.
Yes,
her Mando and I think even her Rebels costume are amazing because Poncho.
Oh, Rebels as well, yeah, for sure.
Poncho,
bro, the one she wears at the end with the hood, the gray hood, like she becomes she like goes full Gandalf. Incredible. And
have you seen Dominic Monaghan's interview? Where he just keeps going on about ponchos.
No. Oh yes, I did. I did. And then there's a very famous Cal Kestis cosplayer on TikTok who got his poncho at the end.
that guy.
Yeah,
So it's the guy I saw him all over my For You page, and like I followed him and everything, and then he went to Star Wars Celebration. Dom Monaghan came up and talked about his Dom Monaghan, freaking Mary from Lord of the Rings. Cam Monaghan came up and just continued to talk about ponchos, acknowledging the meme because he got roasted for wearing ponchos in Jedi Fallen Order. And then at the end, he took off his poncho and threw it to that very cosplayer who now wears an official like Cal Kestis poncho. It's like what? Like that's the dream, you know? It's like
I would never watch that.
Like you know that oh, God. It's like 10 years time. It's like it's time to go in the washing machine.
Sounds like him.
Oh God, Jesus.
Oh, I hate to be that guy, but you know the guy who we gave that poncho to.
Yeah.
He's like apparently like a terrible bloke.
Yeah. He's
like he was kicked. He was kicked out.
Wait, what?
Yeah, the guy who Cameron Monaghan gave that poncho to is allegedly
Really
an absolute piece of shit.
What happened?
About 2 years ago, he was basically bullied out the Doctor Who fandom because he harassed and basically harassed multiple women at conventions.
Okay.
And has since migrated over to the Star Wars fandom, and
I'm gonna say I know nothing about that. If that's true, obviously that's horrible. Though.
Yeah, I'll need to do a bit more digging into it because I can't remember the details. But yeah, it's very icky.
Yeah, that is.
The moment's cool, but the person the person the moment happened to is icky.
All right. Well, if it's the end of back to this question. By the way, this is a cool creator. Like he's very, I don't know. Like he's got cool like low key cosplays. I think. But he does have like a real Obi-Wan robe though, so that's cool. Yeah. So yeah. If it's the beginning of Fallen Order, Cal probably gets mopped. Maybe. I mean, he runs away. You know, like he'll run. If it's the end of Fallen Order, he could definitely take on Asajj. I mean, you know, whether or not they win, I don't know. It depends on this. It depends on like a million factors. But he is a good match for her by the end of Fallen Order for sure.
I will say it will be a fun fight for her at least.
Okay. Can someone? I saw Darth Choco. Okay, here we go. Hey Disney, how many more of George Lucas's characters are you gonna sideline and turn?
That's the one.
Oh,
right.
That's the one.
I don't use this word very often. Okay, how many more of George Lucas's characters are you gonna sideline and turn bitch-made to bolster your own new ones? I'm sick of this. Boba Fett, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and Luke Skywalker. Absolute joke. Okay, right. I'm gonna do what we should do and move on. Because if I talk about this, it's what he wants. He's trying to grift, so I'm just not going to do it. I'll read this one, though. I'm honestly tired of people who make money complaining about Star Wars poisoning the fandom with their whiny, spoiled brat takes. If it's not for you anymore, move on and let people enjoy what they enjoy. I'm trying to stay out of the mud with these grifters, but enough already. Cool. I'm going to let both of those comments just sit on the screen. I've said everything I need to say already. And then I'm going to leave it there for like 3 more seconds. And then we're going to move on. Because I don't need that kind of energy in my chat. Okay. Let's see. Oh! Thank you. I was expecting Kenobi. Why are you here? I say this because I was expecting chocolate. We bought a shitload of chocolate in the UK. Because you can't get Cadbury chocolate here unless you import it for triple the price. And and instead I received airplane pretzels that we were given on our Saudi flight.
Pretzels.
which is a tiny plate of pretzels. And I think the message that has been communicated from my girlfriend to me is very clear. Chocolate, no. Pretzels, yes.
Yes, very, very concise.
Pretzels are very good.
I mean,
Got-
Chocolate covered
pretzel.
pretzels, though.
no.
They're
These are sour
alright.
cream and chive pretzels.
Ooh,
They're very good.
I want to put those in my face.
They're pretty good. I enjoy putting them in my mouth. It's true. They're like chips, but pretzels. It's great. All right. Oh, this is interesting. For about a year and a half, a few months after TLJ released The Last Jedi, I started hating it. The online discussions really got to me and convinced me that it was a bad movie and that I was wrong. I genuinely believed it and became a very stereotypical sequel hater. It's embarrassing. A few months
Same.
before The Rise of Skywalker released, I slowly started enjoying it again and rewatching it. It reminded me why I love it and made me realize I don't really care what people say about my favorite things. Okay, before anyone jumps in with an opinion, you can do that for sure, but I'm going to let this be on the screen first. Hang on. Can I full screen this? Because it's a freaking amazing GIF. Oh, God, never mind. Okay. So, the one thing I will say about this is having online discussions, having online hate trains is it does so many things that are wrong, including it ruins people who have genuine problems with things. Because if you do have a genuine problem with something, you don't want to be associated with the hate train, but that's the same thing the hate train are doing. So you kind of go, wait, so do I stick with the problem I have with something, or do I like stay away from the hate train and like something that I don't, or do I just keep quiet? Making hate trains shuts down discussion, prevents it from ever opening up in the future, and forever makes basically you put yourself in someone else's face. It's like walking up to someone and going like, what's up, what's up, what's up, constantly. And so they can't do anything in their head alone without your influence, like infecting them in some way. Because I know that there are probably some people out there who like enjoy a certain, like maybe they enjoy a Star Wars movie because they want to be different from the people who hate it so much. And that's so sad. You need to be able to form your own opinions. It's really unfortunate that they're so loud that even I cannot fully like think about, like when I analyze the movies these days, I can't analyze them without thinking of the hate train. And I'm like, it's so exhausting. Anyway, yes. Okay. Jump in. Opinions.
Doctor Who's currently having a similar problem with hate trains.
Ah, really?
Because you know how we've just come off the back of a very very, very different era, which was led by a woman for the first time, had a very diverse cast.
Yeah.
It's very different. And like some of the dialogue was a bit ropey here and there, so on and so forth. Well, you know, Nerdrotic and that kind of group of bellends.
Sadly, yes.
Yeah, well, those lot are basically what we call the Not My Doctor crew. They're just horrible, just disgusting. Hate it because it's led by a woman and has a black person in it.
Okay.
And then that basically ends up with anyone who doesn't enjoy the Jodie Whittaker, Chris Chibnall era of the show basically being labelled as being part of that group instead of there were a couple of issues with it. Like Jodie Whittaker wasn't one of those issues. Or like Chibnall's scripts weren't the best occasionally.
Yeah.
And the performances were a bit ropey here and there, like which I to an extent agree with. But I still love that era of the show. Okay. And it's very interesting how quickly you can go from valid criticism to you're racist.
Yeah.
So easy.
And that's the issue.
Like, you know what?
The sorry, continue first. I'll let you finish.
Like you know the Murray Gold announcement yesterday.
Ah, yeah. The new composer coming in for Doctor Who, right? Well, the old one. The guy who's...
The old one who literally left 31 episodes ago. Yeah, like, that whole thing sparked this days-long debate, which is still, which I know for a fact is going to go on for weeks. In fact, I'd be surprised if it wasn't still going on in November. But it sparked this whole debate over previous composer Sega Konya, because he has a very, very different style, and it very quickly just ended up like just being you're racist because Akonya's black. Like it's like, my God, can you just like not say, yeah, his vibe wasn't quite my thing. The way it was mixed into the episode didn't quite do it for me. And I much prefer Murray Gold over Sega Konya. But no, they just I
mean, that's what they feel, though. So what I mean
yeah,
is
that's
like,
what they're trying to say, but then it's the idiots who are like taking it too far and being like, "You're racist because you don't like the black man's work." It's like, what are you doing?
This is why. Okay, let the Temuera Morrison like thing be yet another of the thousands of lessons that we should be learning every day related to spaces like this. I know you're probably like super deep in the Doctor Who Twitter space or whatever. It is unironically, genuinely, I know that means the same thing. It is incredibly unproductive and can only be a net negative for your mental health. Trust me, by remaining only in these Twitter spaces. Because there is no way to actually discuss on a level that you and I are discussing things right now. There is no method for doing that. It is meant for short, sharp takes that have no nuance unless you start a thread, and most people just skip past the first message if they see that there's a thread. It is designed to get things quick and out there as soon as possible. It's good for news, so that you can click on a link and go to the actual article. And it's maybe good for like short messages. But for opinions, particularly opinions on nuanced topics, people are not learning media literacy on Twitter, nor should you be. And people are not learning how to be better human beings on Twitter either, nor should you be. Potentially we might be able to, but I don't see it happening before Twitter actually like becomes obsolete. So maybe if I were to give you advice, which I don't usually do, I don't really like telling people what to do. So this is not that, but just like try not to, put so much energy into that, because if someone is gonna, I think in order to use Twitter effectively, you need to be the kind of person who can let water roll off your back, easily, because you can get caught up in this really quickly, especially if you have an emotional investment in something. So yeah, just be careful. That's all.
Yeah, that's one of the things I've been trying to do of late, is try and like diversify my Twitter feed specifically, because it's the main platform I use. But then yesterday, for about 2 solid hours, my entire feed was about Murray Gold, and I was like, my God, get this fucking man off my feed. It's like, yeah, I like his work from 2005 to 2013. His work from 2014 to 2016 wasn't the greatest.
Right.
But it done the job.
Yeah.
And now let's just hope he's actually going to do a good job again. But like, oh my God. Because he's well documented as to basically being on autopilot for the Peter Capaldi era, which was like his last 3 seasons.
I'm just watching while you're talking about this. Your tweet came up on the feed, so I'm just watching you with a clip of one of the doctors with a paper that says "New Mayor, New Cardiff," I guess.
Oh yeah, that was literally my react. I was having such a good day. The little bit of context for that clip. That character is the villain from a previous episode in the same season.
Oh, shit.
Who then pops up later as the mayor of Cardiff.
That's really interesting. All right.
So, have you seen like the big green bastards with the claws.
Vaguely.
She's one of them.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
One of my favorite, one of the favorite things that I know about Doctor Who is moisturize me. That's it.
Oh, Cassandra O'Brien. Delta 17.
Of course,
yes,
you
that's
know.
her full name.
Of course, you know the full name. What a nerd. Nerd.
She's technically, if you want to read into a tiny little bit of dialogue, she's technically a trans woman.
I do know the context of her story. Like she's trying to find the purest form of being human, and she just ends up being this flap of skin.
Yeah, she ends up being and I quote, a bitching trampoline.
Oh my god. Alright, I like this, by the way. Just a heads up, if you follow me and you regularly refer to Ryan Johnson as Ruin Johnson, God, it's so cringe. The MCU is the MCU. It's so funny now. Or anything remotely in the same vein as those, you might as well go ahead and unfollow me because you'll not like what I have to say.
100% agree.
God damn, dude.
I know full well that it's just like those nerdrotic doomcock bullshit.
Last Jedi did no wrong.
Doomcock. What did you say, Alfrex?
The Last Jedi did no wrong.
The Last Jedi
is the best movie.
The Last Jedi is my favorite Star Wars movie. Feel free to disagree. I mean, I don't like. We can definitely talk about it, but like, it became my favorite very quickly.
Yeah, like once I'd got over the whole, The Last Jedi bad, and then I actually watched it again in the context of the whole saga, it very, very quickly became apparent that this is the most well-made Star Wars movie of all time. B is just incredible at how it deconstructs Star Wars while being Star Wars.
It does, that's a good way of putting it. It does have it does seem to be, it does self-awareness in a very nice way because...
Yeah, its whole message is we don't need to be the past. We can acknowledge it and appreciate it, but we need to move forward
and learn from it. What I really like, though, just as an example, is how Luke learns over the course of the Last Jedi. Like his arc in that movie is, I think it might be one of the reasons why people don't like his direction so much. And Alfrex, if you are I believe we talked last, and you are someone who didn't really agree with the direction of Luke. Is that correct?
No, it wasn't the direction of Luke. It was the direction of the
trilogy,
third movie.
Oh, it was the Rise of Skywalker. Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
I've got something to say about that. Actually, I'll talk about that later. But yeah, go ahead, Alfrex.
Although now my mind has been changed, and I'm fully willing to give it a shot now.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah, I'm gonna be watching the sequel trilogy as a whole days as well.
Watch party. Let's do it.
'Cause I've just finished the William Hartnell era in my classic Doctor Who marathon.
Very cool.
So I'm going to be taking a couple of days before I go into Patrick Troughton.
Yeah, take a bit of a break.
So I'm gonna,
So what I was
as well
about The Last Jedi, one of the main reasons I feel like people don't enjoy Luke's direction is because Luke represents. You can actually see how Luke feels in a lot of the fandom. The difference is Luke ends his journey in The Last Jedi having learned from what I think that many people who like Star Wars still need to learn. And that is, he's literally speaking to the fans when he talks about how the past has value, but only in so much as what you learn from it when you let it go. So what Luke says is he starts as a hermit. He's so cynical about things, and he starts by criticizing the Jedi so much, which is what seems to be it remains a very popular take to kind of roast the Jedi for a lot of the things that they've done or perhaps didn't do. And there are some valid ways to do that for sure. But let's not forget that the Jedi in Star Wars are the good guys, right? So We literally need to have that, and that's like, it's like they've always been designed that way. George Lucas never once faltered from the idea that the Jedi are the good guys, despite the fact in the prequels he made us question why they're the good guys. But they're still the good guys, and we should never forget that. The concept of the Jedi is still a force for good. No matter what institutionalized problems they may develop, they are still the force for good in the galaxy. That's how we should view them. But, and so what Luke has done is he's done what a lot of, popular hot take having Star Wars fans do, is they go after the Jedi for all of their failings. They blame them. I mean, he literally does the whole thing. He blames the Jedi for the rise of Darth Vader, instead of blaming Vader for the rise of Darth Vader. So they were like, or he says create Darth. They allowed the Emperor to rise, create the Empire, and wipe them out. I think is the line, right? I mean, there's a lot more nuance to that, right? But when you look at that, when you look at what he says, you're supposed to be like, yeah, he has a point, but also there's this and this and this, By the end, he realizes, and he tells Rey this in the next movie, that it was fear that took him to the island, and therefore we know that it was fear that made him sort of say those things. What he got correct, however, was that the Jedi do not have a monopoly on the Force. They are simply conduits to the Force. And unfortunately, Luke drank a little bit too much of the Jedi Kool-Aid by believing that they were infallible himself. And I believe it was his own fear that led him to call the Jedi these names. When he did this, I think he was also partially talking to himself, because he failed too, just as they did. I think when he's talking about how Sidious, they allowed Sidious to rise, create the Empire, and wipe them out, he blames himself for Kylo. He says, when he talks about Sidious, I read that as him saying, in a certain, deep down part of himself, I allowed Kylo Ren to rise, create the Knights of Ren, and wipe me out. And I think he realizes at the end of his life that it's time to move on from that. And he also, he learns from the beginning of the movie. He says the Jedi are done. They have no place in the galaxy anymore. And by the end of the movie, he realizes, I was trying to create the Jedi in the same way that the Jedi had been created before. And I didn't have enough knowledge before, but I can use that lesson and pass it on to Rey so that she does it right this time. And that, at the end of the movie, he learns that it's not the Jedi that need to end. It's that the Jedi need to change. Perhaps the structure needs to change. And perhaps they need to think of themselves as not being the monopoly of the Force anymore, which he was right about. But he realizes the importance of having the good guys, And he definitely, and he admits to being super defeatist and afraid in the next movie as well. I think Luke's arc in The Last Jedi was super consistent, and really, I found it so interesting and compelling to watch him develop in that way through the movie. All right. Let me see here. Can anyone explain what this is? That looks like an animal, like a slug, maybe.
A slug?
It looks like a slug.
What the hell is that?
It looks like a slug in a. I have two options. It's either a slug in water, or it's an animal covered in mud. It's like a dying animal, maybe. Aplysia vicaria, known as the black sea hare and California black sea hare, is a species of extremely large sea slug. Boom. Done. It's the largest sea slug species. God, that looks creepy as hell. It's like a science experiment. Okay.
Oh god, that Elon Musk alt account is wild.
Elon Musk has allegedly revealed a secret alt account where he pretends to be a child version of himself, posting a lot of bizarre sexual content. No, I'm not gonna. No. That's enough. That's enough for today. We're good.
Yeah, that's
We're good. Okay, I saw someone talking about. Oh, here we go. Okay, so Avengers Endgame director Joe Russo expects a fully AI movie within 2 years. Okay.
I'm good. I'd rather not.
I'll pass on that one. I think I'll watch it for interest's sake, but like, meh. I know many will boo this, but I'm here for it. George Lucas would have made his movies this way if he could have. Trust. All right. Oh wait, no, listen. I think what he's trying to say, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I don't usually like him, but I'll give him the benefit of the doubt and say that George Lucas was definitely someone who tried to push the boundaries of technology. Like, a lot of the reason why people hated episode 1 was because it had too much CGI. I personally don't give a shit, but a lot of the hate came from too much blue screen, too much CGI, not enough practical effects, whatever. Even though there are lots of practical effects in episode 1 still.
Effects.
But,
aren't there more practical effects in The Phantom Menace than the entire original trilogy combined? Or something along those lines.
I don't know about that at all. I really couldn't say. I know there's a lot of CGI, and I think partially it's the Jar Jar CGI that people like latched onto. But
yeah.
So he has been known for pushing the technological envelope, and I think that's what he's talking about here. But maybe not this one. I don't know. I don't know George Lucas. I'm not going to be weird and parasocial and pretend like I know what George Lucas would want to do, right? George Lucas wrote all of his initial drafts by hand on a legal pad first. What are you talking about? See that? That's a fact. That's not like what he would want. Oh yeah.
No, it's a
Tia is.
Go on, sorry.
No, it's okay. Just Tia is an amazing creator. She's talking about how he's talking for people like he knows them personally. Like, exactly. Like, George is still alive, my dude, and he doesn't know you from a hole in the wall. Exactly. Don't be weird and parasocial, please.
Oh, George Lucas would be rolling in his grave.
Yeah.
What?
What do you mean?
George Lucas is very much alive.
God.
Oh God, Fox News goes woke.
Dude.
Oh.
Paul Sun-Hyung Lee is like starting to follow a bunch of Star Wars creators online.
Yeah.
And so I think it's my time to like start posting a bunch of Star Wars content again and hoping they'll follow me.
In fact, I'm gonna check my little alt and then see if I highly doubt he's followed my you know that Avenged Star Wars pile-on thing we done.
What's that?
You know when there was that guy at Celebration and
he made the guy who like made some threats and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about him?
Yeah, when we made all those accounts under the same.
Oh yeah. You trolled the shit out of them. That was awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. I've rebranded that account to basically just be a Ray Shill account.
Incredible. Do it.
And I was just going to see if he'd followed that one, which let's be honest, he wouldn't have, but like... If I can dream, Harold.
I can dream, Harold!
Honey, why is the baby on fire?
You sound exactly like him. You are a chair, darling. I can dream, Harold.
Dream, Harold. I can dream, Harold.
Buy me more jewelry. Sir, I caught your son doing homework. Where did I go wrong? Oh God.
Oh, I missed last movie. I say if I didn't watch them as if I didn't watch them 2 weeks ago.
70 times, dude. It's like
I'm gonna be really honest.
Yeah, what's that, Alfrex? You've never seen them, right?
No.
Oh, that's okay. That's cool.
I have no clue what you guys are talking about right now.
They're incredibly entertaining. Oh, there are 2 types of people in this world, apparently, and they're all in this Discord call. God. That's me instantly like friendly smile and like that's totally fine. Alex, you pig. How dare you?
You uncultured swine.
Oh God.
Oh no.
Oh my God.
Ouch.
Oh. I log
Why is
back
my screen
into
already flashing
my.
red?
Oh, I log back into my normal Twitter, and the first thing that comes up is that Anthony Russo AI movie thing.
Nah.
Like, my God! At least it wasn't Murray Gold.
Yeah. Okay, here's Darth Chucker. I respect him a lot. I'd love to see his take on this. I would love for them to bring back Boba Fett, but I can't help but notice people who absolutely trashed his show using this hashtag.
Yeah.
That is such a good point. I can't believe I didn't think of that. Oh my God. If I have to hear another person using the word mid uncreatively and just shoving it into the name of something and thinking they're clever, like Book of like Boba Mid or whatever, like I'm gonna lose my mind. All right, I can't tell you how many times I saw that when it came out.
Oh, bloody!
Whoa. Okay, look at this. Grogu was Luke's first student, and Rey was his last. The possibility of Grogu and Rey rebuilding the Jedi Order is so full circle and honestly such an exciting possibility. Give it to me. Give it to me. Give it to me. Give it to... I am a Grogu stan. He is in my house. He is my son, and I love him. Give...
My son!
He
Don't
has...
have ADD! You just like it to jump!
He has...
I love that clip.
I'm going to be a broken record. Grogu has some of the most potential of any Star Wars character alive today in the current canon.
Yes.
He is part of a species that lives to 900 years old. How many stories can we tell when his story begins at age 50? I can't fathom how incredible this would be in the Rey movie. Give it to me, please. And
Let's see how.
And have him speak normally so that we can confirm that the reason Yoda speaks backward is to troll everyone.
Yeah, I have him speak like Yaddle.
Yeah, do
like
it.
Let's see what's the timeline of the Rey movie from Mando? Because Mando's about 10 years after
What,
so
the Rey movie? The Rey movie is...
I think it's 25 years.
The Rey movie is it 20? I heard 15, but like it's a good amount of time.
Well, no, after Mando, because the sequel trilogy is still like another 10 years after.
Yeah, so the sequel, the Rey movie...
sequels are 30 years after Return. So it'd be about 35 years, wouldn't it?
Yeah, so it's 30 years after Return of the Jedi is the sequel trilogy, because the New Republic only lasted like the same period of time as the Empire. Then after the sequel trilogy, it's 15 years of time, and then Rey's movie. Which means that if Mando was 10 years after, let's say Mando season 3 was 10 years after the sequel, what was after the OT, then it'll be 35 years, give or take a few. Yeah. All right.
So Grogu will be about like 80 odd by the.
Well, he's 50 now, so he'd be like in his 80s. Which means, look. All I'm saying, there's gonna be a Mando season 4, I think. It's definitely popular enough to warrant one. Even though I feel like this part of the story is over. I wouldn't be sad if there wasn't a season 4, but I'm happy there is. If there's gonna be one, and he doesn't start talking in the first episode, I might be a little bit irritated. I need him.
Yeah.
He understands everything that people say to him, and he still can't make a word. I mean, look, no, I'm not gonna pretend like I teach real children who are like 3 years old. I get that you understand things a long time before you speak them. Like, I totally get that. That's not what I'm saying. It's not like an ignorant take or anything. I mean, like, just one word, right? Like, that's fine. That's all I need. And then I'm good.
That isn't said by Taika Waititi.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
No, what?
Yes. No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Oh God! You know when at the very beginning of season 1, when they got Taika Waititi in to stutter for 30 seconds, and I said it was so funny. If that's basically all they got him to do, and I wasn't that far off.
Incredible.
Like, they basically just got him back in for 10 minutes to say yes and no 4 or 5 times.
All right. So This person says quite correctly, where was this Boba Fett love when the show came out? And this is such an incredible...
Yes.
I'm so sad that I didn't think of this before, but there you go. And secondly, it's because grifters got a grift. Absolutely agree. Chris is also an amazing creator as well. Yes, because criticizing the fact that the Book of Boba Fett became Mando Season 2.5 is grifting. You must not critique, you may only consume. This is very weird to say years after the show's come out. We've already been through this discourse. It's a little, you're a little bit late to the party, but that's fine. It's almost like I'm talking about a specific group of people and not, oh, all right, bye, Chris. Cool. I guess we're not talking about that anymore. Cool. See you later, I guess. All right.
Oh. Yeah, like I have my legitimate issues with the way Boba was structured, but
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go off and create a whole hashtag about it.
Yeah. Please, let's have a look at what a W character this is for Ray. We're gonna turn into a Ray Stan account for just a second. Actually, who am I kidding? We're always a Ray Stan account. Just let me see
I
this.
was gonna say.
So first,
I'm never touching that thing again. I don't want any part of this.
number 1. Very cool. Number 2.
I need someone to show me my place in all this.
Cool. Already development. Number 3. Shit.
You
There
have
we
no
go.
place in this story. You come from nothing. You're nothing. You have no place in this story.
His next line is very important as well, by the way. It's like tactic abuse, like textbook abusive line. You are nothing, but not to me. There we go.
It's such a bell end.
Just here we go.
Ray Skywalker.
All right. Please just from I don't want any part of this all the way to I'm a Skywalker. Like, just chills. Full body chills. We stan. Can't believe people have the absolute gall to say Rey doesn't have a discernible character arc. Watch the films, I beg of you. Response is not really. When we meet her, she's just going about her day. Nothing to indicate that she'd rather be somewhere else. I'm just gonna. We're not doing names. I'm just gonna say it's literally the opposite of that. She's introduced to someone who is literally trying to escape where she is. She wants to. She dreams of the legends of old. She's only here because she's hanging on to her parents. So she feels she can't leave. It's not like she doesn't want to leave. She would rather be anywhere else, but she feels compelled to stay. We get no real indication from her that she wants to belong. What? No, definitely not. Okay, it's fine. Yeah, it's good. It's good. I mean,
What's
I'm good. What's that, Alfred?
Just what's the first thing she says when she sees literally any plant life?
Yeah, she's like, "Oh my god, this is amazing!" Like, what do you mean?
I didn't know there was this much green in the entire galaxy.
I didn't know there was like this much insert color here. You know, it's like, there we go. Her rain gif is still one of my favorite things in the whole world. When she
yeah, that's just so wholesome.
She like discovers rain for the first time. It's
rain!
freaking awesome. Yeah.
Most part about having smart lights is when they just randomly turn themselves off.
Okay. Right. And that honestly that's cool, you know? So yeah, I'm good. Very cool. Let's see what else is here. Yeah, okay. Awesome.
Oh.
So that was that, I guess. I mean, look, I wanted to play a game, and then it's now midnight, and I have to be up soon, so I'm not going to play a game.
Yeah, we got a bit sidetracked.
I think we got a bit sidetracked, but that's fine. We had an amazing conversation, and I really wasn't even sure what game I was going to play. Is it time to download Jedi Survivor yet? Yes, it is. It is time to preload.
Is it out?
No, it's not released yet. It's I pre-bought it because of course I did, and I can pre-download it so that I can play it on April 28th.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So what is the and there's a reason why I should be pre-downloading it as well, because it's 130 gigabytes. Yeah.
Isn't it like the 5th biggest game ever made?
Yeah, it's bigger than Red Dead 2. I'll tell you why it's so big.
Yeah.
Because because they have
All the ponchos.
I want you to leave. It's because they've tried to make it work on low-end PCs by introducing more texture files that are spread out a little bit more. So the game is bigger, but the textures will run better on lower-end PCs, so that like more people can potentially play the game, which I think is a good decision. I'm happy with like, you know, nowadays we have like 2 terabyte hard drives anyway, so I'm happy that
Yeah.
Then
why isn't it releasing on previous gen consoles then? Specifically making
because if you make a console game too big, it's only PC that's this big. The console game is like 40 gigs. Because remember, if you make a game on console too big, it won't fit on the console, because consoles can only like load a certain amount at a time. And their discs are only a certain disc size. Like, consoles have way less space.
Well, if they've made the assets for it to be able to run on worse machines, then surely they can just put those on that one.
No, but if it's on, they've made it run on small end PCs, and the textures work completely differently on a PC than they do on console.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, so look, I'm not an expert on backwards compatibility, but I guess I think it makes sense to me. All right.
So, and it's honestly just kind of time to stop making previous gen games.
Right, so April 28th. April 28th, 720. Okay, time. I need the time. April 28th, 2023. So presumably at the beginning of April 2028. Do you think it's going to be GMT, or do you think it's going to be like Eastern Standard or something?
I think it'll be Eastern.
Oh, wait, hold on. Star Wars Jedi Order, April 28, 12 a.m. EST. April 28, 5 a.m. GMT. Yo! It releases when I come home from work. Hold on. Okay, so 5 a.m. GMT to Korean Standard. Oh, shit, 2 p.m. Okay. 4 hours before I finish work, it comes out. So when I finish work, I'll be able to come home and play it. That's on Thursday. Friday. Friday. Okay. There's going to be a very... you heard it here first. There's going to be a very sudden stream on Friday night. I'm going to announce it again. Friday night, I will be playing Jedi Survivor at its release. Going to be 100% playing it. And the stream will be doing literally nothing else until it's finished. So you better be here for Friday. We're going to go through it together. Oh my goodness. I'm so excited. I get to download this bad boy right now. What am I going to do with this? It goes here. I've got 521 gigs left on this drive. That'll be fine. How quickly am I going to download this? I don't really want to download from Steam while I'm streaming, because I feel like it might take a shit. But we'll do it after. I'll screenshot and put it in the Discord.
So that Friday stream will be about 9 p.m., won't it?
It'll be. Actually, you know what? I might do a mega stream. I might just stream for ages. Like, as soon as I come home, just start streaming and start playing the game, and we'll see how far we get. So I'll tell you, I get home at and you can watch the VOD if you wanna catch up on things. Unfortunately, there are going to be some people in Europe that work, who. Oh, yes, I want to think about this, because I want other people to be able to see it as well, you know? Releasing it, look, I've been wanting to grow the community, and playing this game at release is going to be the best way to do that, for sure.
100%.
And so I think as close to release as possible, being on the release day will be amazing as well. But I also want people who are currently in the community to be able to watch it. So if there's anyone who's working on Friday... Oh, wait, shit. Oh, no, I have an arrangement on Friday already. Okay. All right, that works out fine then. So on Friday, I will do things, and then that means on the Saturday morning stream, I have enough time to actually play it. So It'll be cool. Yeah, I don't need to do a surprise stream on Friday because I've already made plans on the Friday to do with my tabletop game, and that's honestly more important. So, so I will. I'm running a session for one of my characters who's not going to be there on Sunday. So, I would like to do that for sure, and yes, I will. Yeah, it'll be normal stream then. Sorry, I apologize for leading anyone astray, but it'll be close enough. It'll be close enough to thingy time. It'll be close enough to a release date that it might bring in some new people, and it will be it'll be in the morning, so Americans can watch with ease. But also Europeans, it'll be in the morning for you, like really early morning. I think what time do my morning streams usually start for you now?
2 a.m. at the moment. Yeah, was 1 a.m. now 2.
But time zones changed. Okay. All right.
Bloody 8 time zones.
Yeah. Okay. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna see how my plans turn out on Friday. If I have time, I will play on Friday night. And if I don't have time, I'll play on Saturday morning. Yeah, it's only Tuesday. Oh god, I have to get through the whole week of work. It's fine. It's fine. We can do it. I actually like my work. It's just very taxing.
Is it just me or does it feel like Thursday?
It's a slow week. Definitely a slow start to the week, for sure.
Why does it feel like Thursday?
All right. On that note, it is very late. So for all of you
should.
I'm gonna go to bed. I'm up at 7:30 tomorrow, so got 7 hours left.
Good luck.
Right. Thank you.
Probably the earliest for me. It's not even noon yet.
Yeah. Well, have a nice day then Alfergs, and have a nice evening to you too, Alex. Thank you, both of you, for joining me for this discourse, and I will see you all in the next stream. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
And for those cretins on stream right now, thank you very much for watching me today and for being part of the community as always. Let's get some vibes back in here. This is The Only Way by Lotus. It is now midnight. It is 35 minutes past 12 in South Korea. It's quite hot, actually. The summer is definitely on its way. It did rain today, but that really doesn't help the humidity, unfortunately. For everyone, once again, I hope you have a wonderful morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Thank you for being here for this very interesting and entertaining, for me at least, broadcast. I will see you all on Thursday, where I will probably just be playing some games. I would like this return after my trip to be slow, at my pace, and something that is just comfortable for everyone. I think it's been doing quite well. I don't want to restrict myself too much, just keep things fast and loose. I know there's streaming polls and stuff. But yeah, on that note, I'll see you when we play games on Thursday. Until then, take care. You can't make this up. Here we go. Whoa! God. Honestly, the moments write themselves sometimes. Goodbye.